says the remaining $85 is distribution. When I was building my house, my neighbor was an importer of water and electronics. So I told him I was building my house. I said I should come on. He said he has water heaters. I should come and buy them. They were selling the water heaters for $25,000 at that time. He sold them to me for $4,500 each. He said that's the landing cost. But the Americans have so perfected it that do you know that if you wanted to buy a television in America, a Sony television made by Japan, it is cheaper to buy it in America than to buy it in Japan itself. Some of you are not going to believe me. Check it. Just Google it and see whether I'm lying. Because one place has low distribution cost, one has what? Higher distribution cost. Nigeria is like that. We have huge distribution costs. Because my wife was sitting in the house the other day and she called Samuel and this lady working well called Resat. And she told them how much she bought a sack of potatoes. And where Resat and Samuel come from is where they grow the potatoes. And they said for the price you bought the sack of potatoes, you could have bought a truck in our village. It's bringing it all the way from there here. So our problems are solvable. I don't know if you get the point I'm trying to make. They're man-made. Am I making sense? And so he's teaching us here. We thank God not only for the food, but for the hundreds of people who went and picked up the food. He says the economic system is a reflection of God's order where each person contributes to a larger purpose, highlighting the beauty of an interdependent society. We depend on each other. Make very clear this morning. We need each other. Some of you in this church are the solutions to somebody else in this church. And some of you, am I making sense? But we keep avoiding each other. We don't talk about our problems. We don't meet people. Because we think we can do it alone. Are you here? To the next slide. We can't. Now, he said this. He says, Paul Pilzer emphasizes that entrepreneurship is not about making a profit, but fulfilling a higher calling to serve others, which in turn serves God. He says, because you can't serve God. The only way you can serve God is by serving man. Think about it now. He says, if I wanted to eat, would I ask you to give me food to eat? He says, the cattle on 1,000 hills. Am I hungry? Am I making sense? Do I even need a house to live? The only way you can bless God is by blessing man. Am I making sense? Are you here? Because the only way the devil can affect God is by harming man. Because man is made in the image of God. That's why you see crippled men going through all sorts of, it's the closest opportunity that the devil has. Remember that man who was born blind? And the disciples began to ask him, who sinned? Was it his father or him? Am I making sense? Remember what Jesus said? He says, no. It's for the glory. The one that made him sick had the glory. The one that made him see had the glory. Am I making sense? Are you guys here? Now, no, I haven't finished that slide. Entrepreneurship is serving God by serving other people. God doesn't need us to serve him. Humans need us to serve. What's the matter now? Entrepreneurship aligns with God's command to love and serve others. By solving problems and meeting needs, entrepreneurs fulfill a higher spiritual purpose. I don't think anybody has ever told us this. The problem is only when you go into entrepreneurship to make money and not to solve problems. Now you say you shouldn't go into business to make money. I didn't say that. I'm just saying you don't get the godly kind of benefit if you're not helping people. Are you here? I want you to listen to what Barack Obama says about people who have a call. And then I'll come back and tell you where I'm going this morning. Are you guys ready with the video? I can't even see them. The screens are coming down. Tables are coming down. Maybe I should climb the podium. The next slide is Barack Obama. I want you to listen to what he says about how you can rise in your career. And I'm going to put the two of them together.
Just learn how to get stuff done. I've seen at every level people who are very good at describing problems, very sophisticated in explaining why something went wrong or why something can't get fixed. But what I'm always looking for is, no matter how small the problem or how big it is, somebody who says, let me take care of that. And if you project an attitude of, Whatever it is that's needed, I can handle it and I can do it. Whoever's running that organization will notice, I promise. Which is why I think with young people, you don't always need to be so impatient asking for the plum assignment. A lot of times the best way to get attention is whatever is assigned to you, you are just nailing. You're killing it. People will notice, oh, that's somebody who can get something done. Then the second piece of advice, worry more about what you want to do rather than what you want to be. I think so often people have in their mind, I want to be congressman by 30, I want to make X amount of money by this age. The people I find that are most successful are the people who say, man, I'm really interested in computers and figuring this stuff out. And then they end up being a Bill Gates. Or I'm really interested in how to cure this disease. Maybe they don't end up winning the Nobel Prize, but you know what? They have an extraordinary career because they're just interested in the thing itself. If you are absorbed by what you're doing, you're going to get really good at it. And whether you're rewarded, recognized, you get the positions that you want or not, the journey will have been a good one.
Does it make sense? See, now, I just quoted two different people. One, a professor, and this is the former president of the United States, or president, still president. Yeah, because they never stop being president. You hear what he said? Take your focus off what you want. Focus on what you want to do. Somebody said, stop asking children what you want to be when you grow up. Ask them, what problem do you want to solve? You've stimulated something in them. Am I making sense? Because there are plenty of problems to be solved. I think it was General Powell who said, people run away from problems, not realizing that people get paid by the problems they solve. I've had a deck in my office, beautiful deck. I bought it for the children's church. So I moved to my office, they didn't use it. So I put it in my office, and when I came back from Canada, it stopped working. It stopped working. I've given it to a new media guy. I've called all sorts of engineers. One guy came yesterday, says I can fix it. He said, I'll fix it today. 2 hours later, I called and says 30,000 naira. The deck is like 500,000. I happily gave him the 30,000. No argument. Because he could solve a problem I couldn't solve. I'm going to tie everything together into your calling in a minute. There's this, I think he's Russian or Ukrainian, who's very good. His name is Pastor Vlad. I really like him. He's very articulate and very good. He talks about career and calling. And the reason why I want you to see it is to understand that your career is a platform for your calling. Am I making sense? Are you here? And if you don't understand that, you will despise one and hold on to another one. But he has a beautiful way of saying it. So are you guys ready?
Know what your job is. About 18 years ago, I had this cognition that I realized I was going into audition.
can play this one while we do it. This is an interesting little clip. How many of you know this guy, Brian Cranston? I think that's his name. I want you to listen to what he says about. You can play this one. I want you to listen to what he said about getting a job. This might help. If we can play this while you are figuring it out, is that okay?
Know what your job is. About 18 years ago, I had this cognition that I realized I was going into auditions trying to get a job, and that simply wasn't what I was doing. It wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. An actor is supposed to create a compelling, interesting character that serves the text. You present it in the environment where your audition happens, and then you walk away, and that's it. Everything else is out of your control, so don't even think of it. Don't focus on that. You're not going there to get a job. You're going there to present what you do. You act. There it is. You walk away. And there's power in that. And there's confidence in that. And it's also saying, I can only do so much. And then the decision of who might get a job is so out of your control. When you analyze it, it makes no sense to hold on to that. That, to me, was a breakthrough. And once I adapted that philosophy, I never looked back. And I've never been busier in my life. That's it. Know what your job is. About 18 years ago, I had this guy.
Can I borrow a mic? Anybody get the one they're getting? Anybody get? Let me not tell you what he said. I want to hear what you got. Especially the teenagers. Can I get a mic? I have to start speaking Yoruba very soon, so that you can hear me. Anybody want to tell me what they got out of that? That's a famous actor. You know him? Breaking Bad. Huh? Many other movies. Like he said, he's super busy right now. Did you get what he said? Tell me what he said. Can somebody help me?
Hallelujah. Okay, so what he said exactly was about knowing your the role you play in certain environment, and he gave a clear example of how you're not just an actor. Your role exactly is to bring to life a character in according to a particular text. So there's a text and there's a character to it, and your job is to bring that character to life as possible.
All right. Anybody else with a different opinion? He's right. Don't misunderstand me. I just feel the principle hasn't been brought out yet. Yes, sir. The principle. I want you to get the principle.
Said to focus the thing you want to do. Don't focus men. And focus thing you want to.
The thing you want to do. Yes, that's very good. Anybody else? But I'm so happy he brought that up. Anybody else? But do you get what he's saying? Is that hand up or half up? Okay, it's half up. So you're going to give us half an answer.
Okay. So he said he had a cognition or a breakthrough. Every time he goes for an audition, he goes with the mindset of, I'm going there to get a job.
Yes.
But when you change your mindset, I'm not going there to get a job. I'm going there to go and express a character that has been scripted. So when he had that realization, it shifted. Don't go with the mindset of, I want to go and get a job.